Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're actually going to be going away from working on the cruiser, so we're actually going to be making a trolley for the welder. It's going to be something very good for around home here, because I actually carry this everywhere I go. It gets pretty annoying, even though it's quite light. It's still a hassle really. So we're gonna take a look at our metal and we'll get stuck into it. Alright, so this is what we're going to be working with. I've got a ton of these. They're all just this length, but we can definitely make something out of this. A couple of them are sort of, I just got that surface rust, but the grinder will definitely clean that up. So I don't really have a set idea on what I'm going to go for, but sort of just going freestyle with the flow. Whatever we make in the end, I think will definitely be good. So we'll start measuring out and we'll go from there. These out, so what I'm sort of going with is this is going to be our base, and I've just cut them all out with the angle grinder because I don't have a drop saw or anything like that. So I've tried to get the 45s as good as possible. I'm just going to try and get it all nice and square, tack it together, and we can just keep on rolling from there. So yep, this is our base. It's just tacked up, just so we can get our ideas around it, because you never know, we might change it up, because really we're just freestyling, you know. So at the back, so this is sort of how we're thinking. Even though my welding isn't a gas one, my one's actually gasless. So, but we are actually just gonna make room for a bottle, you know, just one day in case I ever do get a new welder or another MIG welder that needs gas can go on here. So we are actually gonna put that into design as well. So yeah, what I'm thinking is gas bottle at the back here. So room here, and they make another level where the welder will actually sit. The welder will actually sit up here somewhere, and the gas bottle will be back here with a chain around it, you know, that sort of thing. These are obviously going to have flooring in them, just sheet metal, probably 3 mm thick, and the same as here as well. But that's where I'm at the moment, just sort of ideas, getting my head around it, but we'll keep going. Alright, so after some more cutting, we've got our top level. So I'll just try and get these as square as possible again. We'll tack them up, and we'll see how it sort of looks on top of the base. So this will basically be the top level, and this will be the bottom level for your gloves, mask, really whatever. But the MIG machine will actually sit up here like that. I'm thinking, so there'll be a four legs coming up. This will be the back where the bottle goes.
Hey yo.
So we're getting somewhere. it's looking not bad, so I've just tacked those in place as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to weld these ones up. So I'm going to tack them up first and then go over it with a weld because there's a little bit of a gap, not as much that side, and then grind it back down so it's flat surface, and then I can put the other legs on. Those are nice and flat now. Just grinded the weld all the way down. So now we can put the two front legs on, and it should be pretty good. Now that all the legs are on, everything is just all tacked. So I'm gonna go do ahead with this. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna actually weld them all up. And because it's a top, I want it to look like it's seamless, that it's just one piece. So I'm actually gonna grind the weld back down, make it look super nice, and we can start welding the actual frame up. That's all welded up. You know, it's actually quite good welds. A lot of people doubt gasless MIGs, but they just done just fine welds there. Definitely gonna hold together. You know, they're pretty good. Just bought new wire for that as well, but this is the first time using it. It was working really nice. It's getting pretty dark, so we're gonna have to come back tomorrow. Guys, so take a look here. So this is what we're sort of going with, but just over the night I've had a good hard think, you know, good think about it, and so what I'm thinking is knock these two legs out, knock those out, and then I'm going to just use these offcuts here, so they're sort of going to come up here like that. I think that's going to be a lot better, so it's just going to knock those two front ones out. So it's still going to be the same, still on the top, still that same sort of setup, but I think that's just going to be a lot better than having two at the front, you know, very bulky and that. So I'm going to do now, just because I've done the weld on the side, I'm going to just round all the edges off, because you know, if you bump into it, it's going to be sort of sharp, especially with the gas bottle on the back. You don't really want to bump it into it. And just grind it on the bottom so it sits flat on these legs. So we'll get into that. Yep, so these are just nice and flats for the legs to be welded onto, so it's going to be level. And also all the sides are just rounded. You know, nice and neat. As it's all going to be basically grinded, all the surface rust and that. But that's that done now. Alright, so what I've done is just I'm just going to cut these out. They're not bad, you know. So they're just going to actually go in here, just like that. So when the plate, I guess the flooring actually goes in, it just has a bit more support than just a couple of welds on the outside. So I've got one for each corner. So we'll just weld that in. Got here now. Now you can, I guess, you sort of get a better understanding. So they're just sort of platforms on where the flooring can go. Just be that extra support, I guess, because really that's where the weld is going to go up. Don't want it to fall off or anything. But that looks pretty good to me. Alright, so before we actually just keep on carrying on with the platform, I actually just want to clean up a fair of the metal. Just with the sanding disc on the grinder, just clean it all up so we don't really have to worry about it later on when it's going to be a bit more tricky when it's all together. we have to work around it, putting it on different angles. Now that it's still in its separate bits, we can clean it up, so I'm just going to do that with the grinder. Now those are all nice and cleaned up, got all that surface rust off them. We can sort of start putting it back together, tacking it back together, and getting our main idea back together. So we've just sort of got it there, all tacked up. It's quite square. Done the best we could. So might just weld it all up, and we can put some little aesthetic sort of touches to it. Put all the flooring in, all that sort of stuff, and grind stuff down that we need to. And yeah, cover it up when we're done, so that don't get any surface rust around it or anything like that. Have a look at that, would ya? All nice and welded up. That's the look we're going for. It's come out quite nice so far. Still a long way to go from here, but this is definitely quite neat and unique, I guess, you know, different from what I've seen. So all the welds are quite nice. Yeah, some of them they're not bad, you know, for a flux core weld. You know, not too much splatter. Yeah, so they're pretty good. I guess what we'll be moving on next to is just getting the flooring done for the top. The bottom, I've got some good ideas, especially for the bottom. And we'll also make like all these little small things. Going to be making a thing sort of in here, like a bracket across, and then the helmet can sort of sit in there, and all that sort of things. But that's it for tonight. We'll be back in the morning. Alright guys, so we're back in the morning now. I suppose we'll just start getting our flooring. We'll start from the top, work our way down. So this is my here that I've just got, but it does need a little bit of adjustment. The corners do need to be rounded to fit in there, and maybe just about 3 or 4 mil just off the side. So we'll cut that down, round the edges off, put it in, weld it in, and we can actually test fit the welder in there, see how it sits. Alright, have a look at that. It's in there nice and level. You can see the welds had penetrated it. So what I've done, I just done basically one on each. Like I had one on there, one in the middle, one at the end, same on the other side, and it's gut level. So let's try and put the welder in for a little test, see how it looks. It actually sits up there very nice. Look at that. That's nice for us. So just bring you to have a closer look. Look at that, guys. It just sits up there quite nicely. Still a little bit of room either side, which is good. I actually did give it a couple mil each side because I didn't want it to actually just scrape the side of all the welder and that. But it actually does sit in there very nice. And I guess so what I'm thinking is the welder can just have like a little sort of sleeve, sort of cylinder thing, and I'll weld on the side so you can just sit in there like that. I'll put one either side, just so that's, you know, it's very practical, very handy for that. But because we also can just put it in the top there just like that, and it does also sit there like that. So I'm going to put one either side, basically the same sort of thing as that, but just either side.
Hey yo.
it'll be sort of half in, and then it's going to be bent up to be equal with this side, because this is where the bottle will be sitting. Come out flat and just be sitting on the actual top of this, so the bottle's got a flat surface to sit on. So that's what I'm sort of thinking. But yes, I've just cut them out to fit in there nice. The cuts actually go around these beams. I think I might be grinding the welds just on the inside here because it's sort of obstructing it. But we'll see what we can do. Alright, what I'm thinking for this is, because there's a fair bit that's going to be bent, I'm just going to not cut through all the way, but just maybe halfway, as much as I can get, just straight across that line, and then bend it so it's going to be much easier, because there is a fair bit of steel there to be bent, and then I'll do that again along here the other way, so I just won't cut through all the way again, just about halfway, see where I can get, just so it's a bit easier to bend. And then we can actually look at putting it in. Straight edge. Oh, look at that. We got some sort of bend going on. Not too bad. That's the bend we're sort of after. So let's actually go look and see how it sort of matches up. So it sort of did actually work. So when that's all the way in there, we've got that bend there, and then it just sort of comes around and actually just sits over the top. Just sits over the top there. That obviously does have to be cut off. But yeah, that's alright. So I think we can work with it. So what we'll do, because it's sort of out of, see how when I move one side up, the other side moves down. So if I just put this side in, weld it in, and then wire it, because that'll be fixed in that, and then if I push that side down, should be able to weld it. Yeah, so the reasoning for that, while it does overlap over here, is because eventually a gas bottle will be going there. Yeah, so that's why that's done there. So see what we can do with the welding and sort of manipulating it to get in. Let's see how it fits. Should be pretty good. Look at that, guys. That's super nice. Yeah, as I said before, just weld up that side and then we can push that side down and sort of leverage it there, and then just weld it. But that's pretty good. So I'm actually going to go ahead and actually weld that in place, because I do quite like that. So yeah, let's do that. So that's welded in there nice. It's nice and even. Looks very good. I like the bend how it come out. So all the welds are actually underneath on the inside there. So it looks very nice, I think. It sort of makes it just from there. You know, put your gloves or whatever you need down there. And now, so I just got these here, just for the other side. Just cut that out, tack it on the side here. Nice and easy. And I've just got this. I actually just found this just in the scrap pile. Obviously, I've sort of marked where I think it needs to go, but it's just sort of going to go here. Just like that, and the helmet can just sit on there. So I just cut those off and just sort of weld them on there, and that'll be that done. Alright, so just cut those off, nice and smooth on the inside of that one, and this one fits good around the helmet, so it's going to hold it there. So we can just weld those in now. Just on the side and underneath there, and that should be good. Alright guys, so I don't know about you, but I think it's coming really nice. Look, it's coming to shape, just how I sort of wanted it. It's looking very nice. Really just the only thing that's left is this the back sort of semicircle at the back here, just for that support for that for the cylinder. But that's really it. I think we're nearly coming to an end of what it's supposed to look like. Maybe another hook on the side here for the just for the power plug, and maybe another one for this side. But yeah, I think we're nearly there, guys. I think we thought of it all. Make the thing on the end. I'll bend a semicircle with it, and then give it 2 supports on each side coming out, and then it goes around and back again. Just so there's a bit of support there for that. So I'll make that, and I guess see what else there's left to do. Okay guys, so this is what we're rocking with here. This is that sort of semicircle I was talking about. That's just going on the back there, just like that. I just bent this in the roller, just wind it around and it bends it to keep the shape. So I've got that there. Then these are going to be the supports on the side, just like that, but they probably need a bit of trimming. And then just weld those together, weld it in here, weld it on top as well, and then that part there is sweet. So that's tacked together and it's looking very, very nice. It's equal both sides and it's quite flush with each side, so the bend is pretty accurate. But yeah, I'm really liking how it's looking. It probably looks a little bit out on camera, but from my understanding it is pretty good. Just on the side there as well. It's quite level as well. So I think we'll just go ahead and roll it up. Now, all the roads are in. But just stepping back and taking a look at it, it looks pretty nice. I'm loving how it's coming out. We just started with quite a small idea, and then coming out really nice and custom to my liking. But yeah, it's looking super nice. Obviously we won't be able to paint it today, so it's just pouring down. Don't want to paint in this weather. But I do have an idea. I've just had these hooks here, sort of thing, laying around in the scrap box for ages, and they could be something like that, just for the earth clamp, or even on the other side, just maybe for the power cable. Make something easy, just something else to add on to it. Because yeah, at least we can't paint it now, so I might look at doing something with those hooks. Guys, that's probably where we'll probably get today, but I think it's looking very good. With the weather today, we obviously can't paint it or anything like that, but we obviously still need to put wheels on and just paint it. But I think I'm going to be making that another video, so this will be part 1 and there'll be another part 2, but that's probably it for today. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stick around for the part 2 video for that. That'll be out soon. Cheers, guys.